let's say you really like New Zealand and you want to stay a little bit longer. All right, so on YouTube, Oibaf 1420 asks, I have a question too. Could you provide a quick overlook from the different visa types in your next Q&A? I am interested in migrating to New Zealand, and this might interest some of your followers too. Thank you for thinking about our followers. I like it. All right, so there is many different type of visas in New Zealand, but the first thing that I want to say is that there is a law in New Zealand that states that you can only get immigration advice from a registered immigration advisor, right? So if you're not registered immigration advisor, you do not have the right to give immigration advice. So we are not going to answer questions about your specific visa question for you. We can just talk about visas in more of a general term. Right? I want to make that very clear. We are not registered immigration advisor. And, to be fair, we only know about the visa that we got. That's pretty much it. So we've done a little bit of digging and we go through basically the 8 or 9 most popular visa options. So we can just give you some information about that. And you guys know where to get started, but obviously there's much more than that. So let's go through them one by one.
Yeah, so the first visa that probably most people come on in New Zealand is the visitor visa.
All right, so the visitor visa is the most popular type of visa in New Zealand. This is the visa that allows you to come to New Zealand. Usually it's around 3 months, but if you're from the UK or something like that, you can do 6 months and just visit New Zealand. This does not allow you to work. This does not allow you to work for accommodation or in otherwise called roofing. This does not allow you to come to represent a business, to come with samples, to showcase some samples to prospect company. This does not allow you to come to New Zealand to actually look for a job with CVs and everything. You cannot do any of that. It's just for your holiday. And for the most part, you basically just come in with your passport for most countries. So obviously you have to look if you are one of the visa-less country, but the visitor visa is basically you enter. I mean, for example, I'm from France originally with my European Union passport. I just literally show up and they stamp it and in you go. That is what the visitor visa is.
All right, so another one is the working holiday visa.
So I think that amongst our readers and amongst you guys, it's probably the most popular work visa in New Zealand. So the working holiday visa allows people from selected countries between 18 to 30 years old, some countries 35, to come to New Zealand, work and travel for about 12 months. Some countries can do 24, some countries can only do 6 months. Now, working and traveling, there is a bit of a caveat right here, which means that you need to be coming to New Zealand for holiday purposes mainly, and working just to support your holiday. So work should not be the main concern of the main purpose of your trip, right? It should be the secondary purpose only. It's a visa which is rather cheap to get and rather easy to get. It's an all online process. It takes only about a week or two to be approved. And some visas have quotas, which means that there is only about, let's say, from Mexico, I think it's about 1,000 people. So you only have 1,000 people that can get that visa every year. So as soon as the visa is released on the date, you need to absolutely apply it straight away. It literally can be gone in matters of minutes. So you need to time yourself very carefully. Now there's a really good website for that. It's called workingholidayNewzealand.com. So it's workingholidayNewzealand.com, where you can find all those information. You can even get reminders for when the quota is going to open and all those kind of things. So it's quite handy and it's totally free. So you may want to check that out.
Yep. So another one is the skilled migrant visa.
The skilled migrant visa. So New Zealand, if New Zealand deemed that the skills that you are bringing to New Zealand will help it grow its economy, it may give you a skilled migrant visa and allow you to work in the country. That's basically how it works. It's a lengthy and very expensive process. Be ready for a lot of paperwork, some medical checks, and a lot of fees. This is probably the visa where most people use an actual immigration advisor. It's like a lawyer. It costs a lot of money, but that basically makes the process easier.
Okay, there's also the long-term skill shortage list visa.
So now New Zealand has a list of a long-term skill shortage in the country. That means that, and I'm going to take an example. I don't know if that's the case. It's just a random example. Let's say that New Zealand really needs plumber. We don't have any more plumber and there are leaks everywhere, especially around where we live. Leaks everywhere. Well, at this point, That's an inside joke right here. So at this point, New Zealand is going to put the plumbing skills on its skill shortage list and basically expedite all the application that will arrive with this kind of visas for people which are actually plumber. They're like, we really need plumber in the country, so we're going to be making it faster, easier, cheaper for a plumber to come to the country. That's what the shortage skill list visa is.
Yeah, there's also the entrepreneur visa.
So now for entrepreneur visa is that if you come to New Zealand, you start your own business, so and you run it successfully for at least 6 months, then you can start applying for that visa. It's a rather hard visa to get, and it usually means that you have to have had another visa before that allowed you to come to New Zealand, work and start your business first.
All right. So there's also the employee of relocating business visa.
So let's take an example, which is probably not going to happen again, but let's say that Google have enough of the US and they're like, you know what, we don't want to be in the US anymore. We want to relocate our company to New Zealand. If they do that and they come here and you are an essential employee of Google, you are able to apply for an employee relocation visa and help Google run in New Zealand. But that's not happening anytime soon.
But say that.
But let's say
they would need that visa in this situation.
Yes.
Okay, finally, the last one we'll talk about in this video is the Australian resident visa.
So New Zealand and Australia have really good relationship, and so for this reason, Australian basically can come to New Zealand rather easily, and they just have their own little categories right here. That's pretty much it. Now there are much more types of visas around. There are investors visa if you come in New Zealand with like 3 million or more and gonna invest that. There is also visas for talent. So let's say you are Rihanna and you're gonna do a show here in New Zealand, you can get a visa. Just those kind of things. But that's basically an overview of what your options are. But
the obvious place to go for any immigration questions is Immigration New Zealand. Just Google them, you'll find their website pretty easily. And that's basically the best place to go with all the visas that you can get for New Zealand.
Here you go. All right, any questions, put them below. Any follow-up questions, put them in the comments. And we're here every single week to answer that for you.